The biggest category in Minecraft speedrunning has always been set seed, where the seeds are algorithmically found to be optimal for beating Minecraft. For random seed, however, they don't know what they're getting into beforehand, and they just load up Minecraft and let the game choose a random one. This results in some delightfully confusing seeds, and so as far as Minecraft professionals are concerned, these are the best seeds for helping you beat Minecraft, alongside a few other confusing things. We're going to dive, first of all, into the console world record. Obviously, these will all work on any platform as long as you type in this series of digits. At first, the spawn area doesn't look like anything special, but here's the thing. If you look into the mind of a speedrunner, it doesn't matter what's directly at spawn. In this case, it is nice that it's coal and it's access to copper as well, but there's no wood for it, but that's not the important thing. The important thing is, can you find what you need within a short distance of spawn? And as it so happened, the runner for this actually did, because they found a ruined portal just over in the distance. For whatever reason, that ruined portal is not there now. Maybe it's because they were originally playing on the PlayStation, whereas this is a this is the PC. I can't tell you entirely why there's no ruined portal here, but there was a ruined portal floating above the water. And even if there wasn't, I want to mention these seeds as being pretty nice even for the average player too. Here's the wonderful thing: you have access to this really nice plains biome, not that far from spawn. You spawn on an island, with this being the nearest by landmass, and I love seeing not only a pretty biome covered in these lovely flowers, but also it's relatively flat. The plains biomes are really not flat anymore. The plains biomes aren't plains, I should say, after 1.18, and so finding a nice flat area which you could later build on is really, really nice. But even better than that is the fact that there is also a mountain over here. There's also the opposite of a mountain over here. You get a lovely ravine which flows into a cave, and if you want to go straight down to places, I love having access to one of these for that early game stuff. But if you don't want to have access to that, I instead recommend climbing the mountain, which is what you do if you were a speedrunner. In fact, what this particular world record runner did, because what they could see from the mountain was not just a flower forest and not just this little body of water here, but also a village. And this village looks like it's in just the right coordinate zone that it might have a stronghold underneath. So even though it takes quite a few minutes to run all the way over here from spawn, the fact that it's in that Goldilocks zone of potentially finding a stronghold below it makes it really worthwhile. Every village is of course worthwhile by itself, because you get access to not only your iron golem, he's 3 to 5 iron when you kill him, you get access not only to the food and, like to the wood and the, there's cobblestone and stuff down here too, but also all you've got to do is dig down below this thing and you might find yourself a stronghold. In the case of digging down below this village, funnily enough, what you actually end up with is a little bit of the village, which is down below the rest of it, but if you keep going down below that, then eventually, do you know what you're going to find? I mean, I hope it's a stronghold. Yeah, it is! And so this is the stronghold, and here's the thing. Now you're presented with the free room choice. Usually, in this case, there's only one way you can go, but this is where you want to head, and you want to check out the stronghold and try and find that end portal as soon as you can. But here's the great stuff. This is a structure which provides you with some free loot along the way, some iron boots, some apples. It really is wonderful. And so, yeah, I think it's interesting enough to a place to look around. Pro tip, always try and find the places which are least crowded and also that are 5 rooms away from the spawn. So this stronghold is an example of why you should always start breaking through walls as a last resort, because 5 rooms from where you spawn in is always where the stronghold end portal room will be. But sometimes things can go slightly wrong, like in this stronghold, where both of the rooms are separated by an extra block on either side, for reasons I can't decipher whatsoever. But as you can see, the actual pathway you needed to take was through here on the right, then you went down the stairs, then you went left, and then you could go through here to the end portal room. But instead, because that was blocked off, the only way you could ever get here, in fact, there was no way you could get here. The stronghold is just entirely separated by an extra wall, which exists for reasons I can't fully understand. And that is fascinating if I've ever heard it. But yeah, as well as obviously just finding a stronghold around here, you also have a mob spawner right down at the surface. Is this going to be useful to you? I mean, it depends on your definition of useful, really, doesn't it? But yeah, it's pretty cool that you can see this whole thing just taking place over such a wide area. Spectator is also hopefully a reminder of just how much is happening in your Minecraft world, and why if you dig down, you probably will find a cave, or a stronghold, or another weird cave, look at the shape of that one, or even a ruined portal. I mean, this is a dripstone ruined portal, which is pretty strange. But either way, the wonderful thing about this seed is being able to go to the end super quickly. But once you find the end portal on Bedrock, you can't just go to the end, you can also go to the Nether, because all you need is water and lava, which a stronghold has both of, and you can go to the Nether. The Nether is really nice because it is a warp forest spawn. This can be really great for getting Eyes of Ender. If you don't want to necessarily do the trading route, this is definitely the safer way of doing things if you know what's up. But also, the wonderful thing about this is you get twisting vines, which can prevent real bad falls. So yeah, this place is great, but I recommend heading to positive on the Z-axis so you can find what this seed really has to offer, because I think that something every speedrunning seed has that you probably want no matter what type of player you are is easy access to both of the Nether structures. What are both of those Nether structures? Well, one of them is right here. It is the Bastion. The Bastion is really a wonderful one. It's filled with piglins, who are great for trading with, and it's filled with loot if you're just a average player. And what can you find in that average loot? Well, you might find a few blocks of obsidian, or a golden apple, or some iron or bone blocks. I mean, getting bone blocks via the Nether is actually a perfectly valid way of doing that. Honestly, it's something I never do, like just go to a soul sand valley, mine out those fossils, get you some lovely bone meal that way, but also you can get gold armor, you can trade with these guys, and there's probably a piece of loot that's useful for beating the game. Who knows what it would be called, but then after you're done with that, you know what you can do? You can head on the other direction, on the X-axis, you can head up and around and over here, and you know what you're going to find in no time whatsoever? And by no time, I mean 200 blocks. Wow, is that a Nether Fortress 2? Yeah, they are pretty close to spawn. It's not insane close to spawn like you would find if you were, like algorithmically finding the perfect seed, like we've shown off before on this channel, but this is a naturally generated seed that happens to have both these structures close together. It is something that is very, very important to find, and it's not just that they're close together, it's that if you go around here, you can find relatively safe places to kill blazes. I mean, obviously, the best way to do it is out in the open, where you find them, but if you want to, you could take them out here, or you could go all the way over here, where there's this lovely inside part of the structure. This is always my favorite part to kill them in, because even though you're locked in, it also means that you're not under threat from ghasts, you're not under threat from wither skeletons and blazes at the same time, and you can kill them, and you know they can only spawn in two directions, directly ahead of you, or far, far behind you. I think this is safe, I think this is wonderful, and just having this all together is super nice. Also, extra chest is nice. Also, I think it's just really cool when you see these structures kind of like buried into the netherrack, and so the way this one is, existing right here, super, super classy, in my opinion. So yeah, you've got both of the things that you want as far as the Nether are concerned, but you also have a few other things that you might be down with just for fun. I mean, as I mentioned earlier, what if you want... what if you want to get access to a bunch of soul sand, or you want a bunch of bone blocks? Well, then you should find another seed, apparently. Yeah, this is all Nether wastes and warp forest biomes, which are super good for two reasons. One is that they're easy to navigate. I mean, this looks kind of tricky in bits, but it's way, way better than a basalt delta or a soul sand valley. But it also, it's not just easier to navigate, it's easier to see through as well. You would be able to tell if they're what you can see. There's lava there, you can see there's glowstone there. More vision means more opportunities to see your stuff around here. And honestly, being able to navigate the Nether is just a hard thing to do sometimes. So I love when it's easily done for me. Also, what I love is, if we go back to the overworld, I came back in the wrong place, and I have to say, this is a really pleasant area. Just as a small aside here, look at this lovely lake here. You got plains and you got savanna. You know, that's all you've got. You don't have any of these other troublesome things to worry about. Again, if you're building a city, you're building something that needs a lot of flattening. Apparently I found the right place for you. I'm in love with this area, but not as in love as you're gonna be when you see the end. I'm just kidding, it's a perfectly normal end, with the only slight benefit being that the portal is slightly indented into the ground because of the higher side up here. This saves you like 2 seconds in a speedrun, and if you're not in a speedrun, well then, I don't know, it makes you closer to the towers or something. Closer to the Ender Dragon's butt, which is obviously an important thing for, I don't like where this is going. What I do like, though, is the second seed, I hope, maybe more than this one, because this was the console world record seed for random seed glitchless. What about the PC world record? So this seed is a lot traditionally nicer. I mean, from the way you spawn into this lovely plains biome, there's literally sheep greeting you. There is, as you can see right here, a lava pool should you really want it. My god, this is just an amazing spawn to have. Look at that, there's even cave access if you want to go straight down to diamonds. It's not good for speedrunning, but if you're not speedrunning beating Minecraft, you're just trying to have a good time, being able to literally jump into a pit and be at Diamond Lair is amazing. Can you actually find diamonds in this particular cave? Let me find that out for you. I bet you might be able to, right? Apparently not. You're gonna have to settle for gold, you're gonna have to settle for redstone, and, you know, even worse, the worst of them all, lapis lazuli. What's even the point of jumping down a 100-block hole if you're not getting diamonds? But you can also get some dripstone. You can also get all of the other ores in Minecraft, but still, it's pretty cool that immediately from spawn, you can go straight to diamonds, or you can go straight to nether. I mean, you're gonna need a bucket to do that, but still, that's really cool. And then also you have a jungle, and then also you have a forest, and then also you have this lovely giant new river, and you've got the savannah. The savannah is where we're gonna be focusing our interest today. I love savannas because they don't rot, and most speedrunners like savannas because they contain villages. In this case, it's villages and it's a ruined portal. So this is found not that far from spawn. It really is quite the wondrous thing that you just have to travel a little bit of distance to get here. And once you are here, you know what you're going to find, nice and easy? Some gold leggings, some gold nuggets, and I know, almost an iron. Honestly, one of the best parts about it is that there's gold found right here, but you don't have an iron pickaxe to take advantage, which is super sad. But what's not sad is the fact that right next door, you've got the Savannah Village, and Savannah Villages, look at all these hay bales everywhere. We've got more food than we could ever realistically want, which is, again, useful for speedrunning, but if you're just an average player, having a stack of bread to start your game makes it so much easier to get the food you actually want, rather than scrounging from melons so you can get some carrots, so you can cook some potatoes, so you can, you know, you don't have to do any of that. You just have enough bread that you eventually make your farm, and you move on to whatever you want from there. I like that personally, as someone who just hates eating melons more than anything else. I also like that there's free iron golem stuff. I also really like that just over here, there's a little bit of the Savannah Village, which takes you over to an insane mountain. Do you see my frame rate drop slightly as it came in there? It just, I love the look of this mountain. I don't think it'd be fun to play with. It's got that classic Minecraft experience of, oh, there's a cool mountain. Okay then. And, but you know, it's fun regardless. And you know what else is fun? The fact that if we just take some of that iron we get from this village and we go back to spawn, you'll know the place when you see it because it's this delightfully old style plains biome. I really do quite like it. But right here, you could take your iron and you could scoop up the lava and make it into a portal. You could also scoop up the ruined portal and make that into a real portal. It's up to you really, but I like that you've got options, and that'll allow you to go to the nether. My god though, is this nether one of the worst ones I've ever seen. I mean, you'd be tempted to just rage quit right upon seeing it, right? Like what can you do with a nether like this? I mean, it's tempting to just run out into the nether wastes and, you know, maybe that's where the money is. In fact, that's exactly what they did, running through a basalt delta, which just gets worse with the lava covered everything, until eventually they ran across this. See, again, this is one of those weird structure rearrangements, it seems, but as you can see, here is a bastion. It is one of the best types of bastion. Do you know why it's the best type of bastion? Because it contains all of this gold right here. It is yours for the taking. Boom, 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 mine it all up, get some piglins angry of you, then trade with them, and then get them more angry of you so you can get those trades to happen. It really is a wondrous part of the speedrun, and then because it happens to be both structures combined, again, it's really nice to find these structures alone. It's nice to find them within just a few hundred blocks of spawn, but having them be this close together, literally in this case, you can see, you can walk out of the chest room from the bastion with its it's 4 of the, look at these guys. They are here to make a bad time for you, but you can walk straight from that room with all of your loot into the covered part of the Nether Fortress, which I absolutely love. Again, I just think this is really, really handy. And from here, you can run around the structure till you find the blaze spawners, or you can loot some chests, get some gold, get some saddles. Don't think that's going to be the most useful thing in the world, but still, you can get all of this stuff, and I absolutely love the end result of it. I mean, it's a fortress next to a bastion, and then you follow the fortress long enough, and it takes you to a crimson forest, which again, if you're in that stage where you want better food, bread isn't doing it for you, this is the biome where you get pork chops. Instead of having to farm pork chops in the overworld because you're feeling lazy, you just come here with a bucket of lava, which you already have because you came to the nether, and you light a few pigs on fire, you get more pork chops than you could ever want, and then you take it all back with you, plus the blaze rods, plus the ender pearls you got from trading an insane amount of gold. You bring that stuff back with you to the overworld. Now, this is where your boy would be on track for a world record because of how amazing that nether spawn was, because of how amazing the lava was at spawn. This is, again, truly one of those amazing finds. However, there's one area this seed fails you, and it's what happens when you start throwing IF enders, because you have to go some serious distance, super fast. And so, yeah, traveling 1,400 blocks sucks if you're trying to beat the game in 25 minutes or less. But if you have a little bit more time on your plate, I think it's quite cool to travel so far. You could even do it via your nether if you wanted to, as they even attempted to in their run. But, you know, like like going this far is actually pretty cool. It feels like you've traveled a real distance to a whole other part of the world where the terrain is no longer flat. It's now mountainous and the villages look different. And this is like the ideal seed for feeling like the Minecraft world is a real world with unique consonants, even though it's just arbitrary random biome generation. It feels like there's a story here, but the only story you need to care about is what happens when you dig straight down, and you know what does happen? It's the good stuff. That's right, here we are in a stronghold. You can tell this is the entrance because it's like a big entryway into nothing, and you got 5 rooms till you get to the end place. Which 5 rooms do you have to take? I think going bottom first, and then we'll go left, and then I don't even know, we'll go right. We see some deep slate over there, by the way. And then if we found it, we didn't find it. We're going to use our lovely little cheat right. You know, this pro tip, spectator mode is really cool. If you enable it, at least. I don't know how I forgot to do that. That's a big embarrassing mistake, huh? You know what really adds insult to injury on this one? The fact that the end portal has no eyes in it already. But if you fill in those eyes, by the way, I love this. This is something I want to start doing. The speedrunning technique of filling in the eyes by going from, like, around it. So you place, like, a block in here. Let's just say it's a door. And then you fill it all around you. And then you know what happens when you do that? It's absolutely beautiful. You just immediately teleport. Wow, I love it. But yeah, this end is slightly better. I mean, let's be honest. You're not picking a seed based on the end. If you are picking a seed based on the end, that might be a fun, like, what is the best end for a seed to pick? I think, you know, there's 2 ways to go. You could have the raised up portals. You could have the lowered down portals. Personally, I think you want to have a raised up one if you're doing a mega project. You want to have a lowered down one if you're just trying to beat the dragon. I like that there's variance there. But yeah, this is the end. This is the final point of the seed. And I think that overall, they're both pretty decent seeds if you want to play just a really well-rounded, but not over-the-top seed. Something, I think a really interesting question that I covered in my last video about things that feel like they're cheating but aren't, is like, yeah, when you pick a seed, it is technically, you know, like totally fine and it's not cheating by Minecraft standards, but it does feel a bit wrong when you get so many diamonds and immediate access to things at spawn. But having a head, you know, like a leg up, having like a top 1% seed, but still not OP and perfectly decided, does feel a bit better. And so this is where I feel like these sorts of seeds excel. And if you don't agree with that, then, I don't know, you watched a very long video for nothing. I hope you all enjoyed this particular Seed Sunday. If you do, then, I don't know, please consider subscribing. I make videos every day. And did you know that me asking you to subscribe is something I do because I'm desperate? Does telling you I'm desperate make it any better? No, every YouTuber begs for subscribers at the end of the video, because if you're subscribed, you're slightly more likely to see the next thing that I do, and I'd appreciate it if you did, because I spend a lot of my time doing that. Speaking of things I spend a lot of my time doing, thank you for watching, because I'll see you all next time. Goodbye. Wait, why isn't this exploding? There we go. Goodbye.